Day 16, Mount Barney.
For the next day I'll be hiking through Queensland's lush, yet surprisingly dry rainforest and making my way to the lower portals. But first, a penalty shootout. Yes, this is a voiceover. I did record the audio originally, but it was just exceedingly windy, so here we are. The rules are pretty simple. It's just a standard penalty shootout. I'll shoot first, you're in goals. You have to guess which way I'm going to go, either left, middle or right. And if you guess it right, then you save it. If not, I score. Next, you take a penalty. So say where you're going to go, left, middle or right, and I'll guess. If you say something that I don't, you score. And then we both take 5. Whoever has the most goals at the end of those 5 is the winner. And because I'm feeling generous, if we're tied, then I'll say you win. But if I take a really good penalty, I'm just going to say that you don't save it even if you guess the right direction, because you're not that guy. Let's go. That's one. Bottom left. If you guess left, you get it. Otherwise, unlucky. Now your turn. 3, 2, 1. Right. Alright, number 2. That one was terrible. You can have that if you guess right or middle. If you dive right, I'm assuming you hit it with your feet. And if you guess middle, you just play. Now your penalty number 2. 3, 2, 1. Right. Number 3. Also not the best, but it went in. That was, I can't even remember. Oh, that was bottom right. So that's fine. If you guess right, you get that one. Now your one, number 3. 3, 2, 1. Middle. Number 4, hopefully an actual good penalty. Now that's a little bit more like it. Top left. Because I'm feeling extra generous, you can have that one if you guess left. But I'm kind of overestimating your skill level there. Now yours again, number 4. 3, 2, 1, right. Alright, 4, last one, number 5. They've all been pretty terrible, so I'm not confident much. Oh. Maybe I'll blame it on the wind, even the camera's falling over. Can't even hit the crossbar when I want to, but of course I hit it now, of course. I guess it doesn't even matter where you dive, you just get that one full stop. And your final penalty, number 5. 3, 2, 1, left. I'm not very confident in that, to be honest. I mean, I literally missed one, so that's kind of screwed my chances. But who knows, maybe I just went crazy in goalkeeping. Alright, it's finally time to head to Mount Barney. It's about 25 minutes away from where I am now, and I'm thinking that I want to do the lower portals walk, which isn't, look out the windscreen, I can see a mountain. I'm wondering whether that is Mount Barney. Anyway, I'm thinking I want to do the lower portals walk, because that's a bit of a more chill walk, rather than going all the way up to the peak. Or, you know, doing rock scrambling and rock climbing up to the peak, because I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do that. And the lower portals walk is actually the one that made me want to go to Mount Barney in the first place, so I'm not really missing out on too much.
Alright, we've just set off. I was wearing shorts when I arrived, but I'm now wearing long pants because I was told that there are a lot of snakes in this area. It said on the sign that there are actually some creek crossings, which will be cool. Bit different terrain. It's still kind of part of the same Gondwana rainforest area as the border ranges, but at the moment it's quite different, a lot drier and different kinds of trees, though I don't know the names of them. Other than snakes, this wilderness is also home to a lot of the other wildlife that we saw, or that we didn't see but could have seen yesterday. The skinks and the potoroos and whatever else. But it's also home to a brush-tailed wallaby, which I don't think I've ever seen, so that could be an interesting spot. Plus, it's home to some of those Arctic or Antarctic beaches, which I saw yesterday and found out that they were a tree, not a name of a beach. I just went to take a photo on my camera and I went to turn it on and it just came up with needs charging, which is just crushing. I'm about a kilometre into the hike and I was thinking, should I just turn back and go and get the charger? But I don't think it's worth it. I think I just have to firm it. I checked it this morning and it had 2 out of 3 battery, but now it's dead, so I don't know how that's happened. Super unfortunate, but I did get at least a couple of photos before it died, so you can see all along here that there's been a controlled burn. You get quite a lot of these happening in winter. It looks quite recent, and the idea of it is to intentionally burn an area of the forest so that if a bushfire does start, it doesn't continue past this point. So it's a way of controlling the bushfires. But you actually have to be careful. You have to strike a balance between preventing extreme bushfires and not preventing them at all, because in a lot of cases bushfires themselves are important for the forest flourishing. On my left you've got this back burning, but then on my right you've got private property, which is quite interesting. I didn't realise that people actually had private property out here, because Mount Barney and a lot of the other national parks around here are all World Heritage listed. So it's weird to see that there's a line drawn along this where it goes from National Park Heritage listed to just private property. I wonder if even on the private property it's still heritage listed, and whether or not they can do much with the property itself. It's a grasshopper that's just there, but he jumped away from me right when I went to take the video. That would actually be perfect for the idea I have for today's photo, by the way, if I had a camera photo of that, but I don't. So now it's just sad. Now I'm just thinking about, damn, I should have gone back for the charge. Anyway, I think I'm about 1.5 kilometres to 2 kilometres in. Almost had it, then I fell off. Don't put me on Ninja Warrior. There's a little tiny lizard there hiding underneath a leaf. Oh. Apologies, I didn't mean to scare him. Got down to what I assume will be the lowest point, and you can see the difference of the water having been down here. You've got all this greenery. What I think are actually mostly just weeds, but with nice flowers. Butterflies flying around as well. When you're walking through the long grass bits like this, as you're walking you can hear stuff moving around in the bushes or in the grass down here. Probably mostly grasshoppers, but there's always that little thought in your mind like, ooh, is that a snake? That's not very nice. But no, I'm surprised I actually haven't seen any snakes yet. I'm almost a little bit disappointed. I was kind of hoping to see something. We're almost 1 kilometre maybe? No, less than that, maybe 400 metres away from the end of the walk before we have to go all the way back. And yeah, no snakes, no wallabies, a lot of birds, a lot of grasshoppers. I mean, you can hear them. Oh no. As I start to move, you hear them jump around. A couple people, but nothing extraordinary, unfortunately. Finally made it to the lower portals. This is the kind of view I was hoping for. This is the spot that beat out spending my first full day in Queensland on the beach. And honestly, I'm not even mad. It's so calm out here. There's actually a number of nice little campsites around here as well that you can walk in and spend the night, which was what I was considering doing yesterday, but I thought it was a bit hard on myself to, after having done the drive, which ended up probably being about 2.5, 3 hours, then setting myself up for a 5-kilometre hike into a campsite. So we didn't stay over here last night, but it was fine to do the walk-in this morning, not too busy, and I do this over the beaches. The clouds in the back on the camera look like smoke. For a second I was like, what the hell? But no smoke. Alright, I did manage to make it back to the car in an hour, so doubly as fast on the way back, which was good. The walk was worth it for that view of the water, it was just incredible. And also walking down the path with back burning on one side and normal, forest on the other side, it was just pretty cool to see. And look at the view out of the windscreen right now. Super nice spot. Oh, and also, it was worth it because I met this couple who had been traveling around Australia, not right now, but have in the past. And they recommended me a bunch of spots which are just beautiful. So, super excited to see them. I don't know whether I'll be able to get to some of them because they are very far away. But if I do get the chance to see them, that would be incredible. Now it is time to head to the campsite. Just made an unplanned stop at Coles. I thought the nearest one was going to be in the Gold Coast, but there was actually one here. So this week's groceries secured for $50. Pretty good. I just had to carry all the stuff awkwardly back to the car because I left my bags in the car. That cannot go in the video. Now we're on to the campsite. Hopefully I get there before sunset. It's looking unlikely. Let's get going. Alright, you can probably tell by the light, but the sunset did just beat me in getting here. But that's actually not bad news because one thing that this campsite, well, I actually didn't realize about this campsite, but that looks really good, is that a certain nocturnal critter lives in this river down here. And it's one with a weird plural. And that is Mr. or Mrs. Platypus. I'll go for a walk now and hopefully, although it's a bit unlikely, probably having more luck in the morning tomorrow. But hopefully, I'll say hopefully one more time, hopefully we will find one. As far as I know, platypodes wake up around half an hour before sunset and go to bed about half an hour after sunrise. So around now is probably your best chance to see them. Although normally people look for them in the morning. So I think what you're supposed to do is just look for rippling in the water. The thing is, it is so dark that I don't know that I know even if I see one. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might have to come back tomorrow night a bit more informed, or tomorrow morning, but I'm not the biggest fan of early mornings. It's very well camouflaged. Tomorrow I'll make it my mission to find some of those platypodes, I swear. As soon as I can kind of get a lay of the land, know where I need to be, and then figure out where they might actually show up, we've got more hope. Now for today's photo. I only took 11 photos today, and that's because when I was about 1 kilometre into the hike, the camera died. And if I didn't know what today's photo was going to be at that point, I probably would have gone back and got the charger. But I already knew then what today's photo was going to be. Along the walk, there was a lot of ants all over the floor, and they're just such interesting animals. I think they're the only animal that you could see carrying something 10 times its own weight and size and just go, yeah, that makes sense. They're just so impressive. And it made me think of the movie Bug's Life. When people think of movies involving insects, they normally think of the Bee Movie because that movie is strangely popular. But I like to think of Bug's Life. I kind of love that movie. It has a lot of impactful scenes, and in particular, the one towards the end where it's the ants led by the main character and the grasshoppers. And the main character is trying to explain that ants aren't slaves. Quite an impactful scene, quite meaningful beyond the context of the movie, and that's what influenced today's photo. Number 16, Bug's Life. The photo itself is a little bit blurry, which is kind of a shame, but the message is one of the most significant of all of the ones that I've said. So for that reason, I'm going to rank this photo 4th.